It's October 6th, Saturday, 2007. I'm Zane.
I'm Scott, and this is Earthless.TV.
And this is where we're going to give you, the viewer, the opportunity to listen to us banter.
The news is something that we're going to talk about first.
Yeah, let's start with international news.
In Iraq, we work for the Department of State.
And what is the service you provide for the Department of State?
We operate under the Worldwide Protective Services Contract, and we are charged with protecting diplomats, reconstruction officials, and visiting CODELs, members of Congress, and their staffs.
We're looking at a clip here of Eric Prince, who is the head honcho over at Blackwater, the security group working in Iraq. They are under the gun basically right now because they are unaccountable to anyone. And this is the big question. We've got private mercenaries fighting in a war alongside American soldiers. They're getting paid a shit ton more than our soldiers are. A lot of our soldiers become, they retire, they have these skills, they work for a private security company.
That's pretty cool.
The flip side of this is, if there was no war, this company wouldn't exist.
Okay.
So it's not so cool. Because we are talking about mercenaries. And the big issue is when they open fire on civilians in Iraq to save the package, the people they secure or protect, who are they accountable for? Or who are they accountable to? It seems they're not accountable to Iraq. They're not accountable to military judicial system. It's been handed over to the State Department. The FBI is investigating. But so far nothing, This current issue, or why this came up, this last little incident, was some sort of firing. Like 11 or 12 Iraqis were killed, supposedly shot by Blackwater operatives. One was, the guy in question, I can't remember his name, he was basically sent home. He came back to America, supposedly. He's not in jail anywhere. But if he was a civilian here in the United States who would open fire on someone, he'd be behind bars. He'd be prosecuted. And none of that seems to be happening. And there's like 198 cases of firearms going off. So the Congress has a hearing, and they're basically ransacking this guy. And I will note, to kind of end this story up, to give you kind of like the final analysis, is something he mentions, Eric Prince, at the end of his interview, is he says that he is an American, Blackwater is an American company, and they are fighting for Americans, which is
So
true.
wait a minute, they're making money just by that slogan alone. They're not that slogan, not that they use that in their ad campaign, but by that match of ideas, they're making money, tons of money. How much more money then?
Well, that's the other thing. They're a private company, and during the hearing, he would not state how much he made. He would not state, one of the Democratic congressmen, I can't remember which one, but had asked him how much the company was worth, how much it was making on it, what was its yearly gross.
But wait a minute, so
He wouldn't answer those questions.
Isn't that something
Private
that?
company.
Isn't that something that? Oh, private companies don't have to disclose how much money they make to the IRS, or the American people, or publicize how much money they make?
They do with the IRS, but again, like this year's accounting would go to the IRS next year, and I don't know that the IRS is
See, it
allowed
seems to me though,
The big issue is that 90% of their contracts are paid for by U.S.
Well, wait a minute.
tax dollars.
But wait a minute. The idea alone that they represent the United States gives us all the right to know how much money they make.
Especially when 90% of their
I mean,
income
that's
is from
like
US
having,
tax
that's
dollars.
like me wanting to make Nike sneakers and putting them on a package and then selling them. That's calling them Nike sneakers, but they're not Nike sneakers. They're sneakers that I made. So I don't understand how that could possibly work. I mean, that's like a brand name. It's like everybody who sells something with the American flag on it should almost pay a tax that supports us all. And don't they? Don't we all pay taxes?
We do pay taxes.
So doesn't that somehow make us own a little bit of America? Like that little bit that says, hey, I'm American. I'm American. I live in this country. I pay taxes in this country. You know what I mean?
Well, the big question here, though, is that we have a private army who
Well,
is
that's-
protecting,
Yeah. That's despicable.
who is protecting people in Iraq in a war zone, and they are being paid by the U.S. taxpayers.
And
I
they
think
are
the money
in-
should be disclosed. I mean, I think they should.
I agree. I definitely agree, and especially since they are inflicting collateral damage on local civilians, whether or not it's detrimental to their position or whatnot. I think that's totally ridiculous. That blows me away.
Yeah. Well, let's go on to another story, because this Blackwater story is going to last for quite some time. We'll probably be talking about it for the next 3 to 5 months, easily, I would imagine. Because this war is not going to stop anytime soon. But let's bounce around. Let's talk about Burma.
What else you got?
Myanmar?
Burma. What's happening in Burma?
Well, as
Burma,
you know...
Alabama?
No, the country known as Myanmar, which is south of China and east of Thailand, they have had democratic rallies. This is a communist country. This is a country run by its military leaders. The highest authority in the country is the monks in the country. It is a religious country. However,
No kidding, the monks are the highest.
they're kind of like Jedi Knights, man.
No
they
kidding.
It's a religious country, but it is a dictatorship that is run by its military. And there has been suppression in the past for the last 20-some years.
So like the rock star is the monk in their country. That's the actor, the Hollywood superstar.
Kind of, yeah. I would kind of agree with you. They led protest rallies.
And they're run by communist military.
The country is run by its military leaders, yes. The issue is, following these rallies, where one reporter was shot at point-blank range and killed, the military went and rounded up, they said, their estimate was they rounded up 500 people, mostly monks. Some of the other estimates are believed to be, around 1,000. But it's a chaotic situation right now.
So wait, the military just attacked these people? For what reason? I mean, what was...
The military was suppressing the pro-democratic rallies.
So they're in the process of advocating a democracy in their country. They're basically...
The military is
they
not
want to
allowing
vote. And the military they have there is not allowing it.
Actually, they had a democratic election several years ago. I want to say, was it 7 years ago, 11 years ago? And the woman, Sue, she's been under house arrest. She won the democratic election. I forget her name.
Oh,
But-
right. Yeah,
and she has been under
okay.
house arrest ever since. But basically, we want to stick to this week. And what's happening this week is it's gotten a little quieter. The monks are not on the street. There hasn't been as much protest. It's gotten a little quiet, a little eerie almost, and a lot of the monks have been rounded up. So this is a story that we'll continue to follow. We'll see where it goes. Next, I'd like to just punch in on the topic. There's no real footage to go with this, but the polls, the Democratic polls. Hillary Clinton has raised more money this quarter. She has, outpaced Obama, and her popularity in the polls has increased drastically as well. She is.
Does she have a running mate at this point?
No, right now they're aiming to grab the Democratic nod, and after you get the Democratic nod, then you'll pick your VP. And I hope she picks Obama. I'm kind of pushing that way, but again, I'm a Dennis Kucinich fan. I'm a Ralph Nader fan. Scott?
Well, having once considered that Ralph Nader was the way to go, I am definitely not a Republican or a Democrat. I refuse to use either of those phrases, or what would you call it, either of those titles. I just really, I have no idea how I feel about the president right now. I'm borderline not even going to vote for the president this year.
We're
Borderline ready to never vote again, ever.
a little dissonance in my buddy Scott here. A little bit of dissonance.
Yeah, see,
Well, I'm just giving you the update now.
No
I'm just,
confidence.
I'm
I
letting
vote
you know
no
what's going
confidence.
on.
Okay, no, but that's
Hillary
interesting news,
is,
for sure.
she's breaking out of the pack right now, so to speak. So, we're watching the race.
Well,
We'll
somebody said
continue to let you
once,
know.
I'd rather anybody but a white guy. So,
I think I said that actually. So what else in the news? Let's see. There was a little bit of news on Sputnik today. I think it must be an anniversary or something. Not today, but this week. Sputnik.
Sputnik?
Sputnik, the satellite, the 180-pound beach ball.
The original?
Sputnik, yeah, the first satellite to go into orbit. You know, funny thing is, it took a bunch of communists to get into space first.
I guess so.
As well, let's what else is going on here?
It's probably had something to do with the red tape that Americans seem to suffer from so greatly.
In Great Britain, some news. New photos of Princess Diana were released. After the coroner's report, there were a handful of photos, video footage of her leaving the hotel wherever she was hanging out. Some footage of her with her boyfriend there. That just kind of opened up that story again.
I see. Poor
Diana.
Diana.
There's a lot of loss.
Lady Di. I remember when I was a kid seeing her on the news and just having a crush, major crush. Lady Di. She was a hot little chickie when they were married.
Yeah.
Back
going back to Iraq, just to give you a quick update on the numbers, the U.S. soldiers killed in Iraq has just topped 3,800.
Wait a minute.
And
3,800.
yeah, and the Iraqi casualties, the real high estimates is that it's over 1 million now. So, but you'll see numbers. Bush I think puts out 2,200 people have died on their side or some shit like that. Who knows? And then, lastly, in international news, the elders, Jimmy Carter, Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, international UN representatives went to Darfur, and there was recently an attack on a UN base, peacekeepers base, and 12 soldiers were killed. They've talked about, I think they're supposed to send in another 26,000 troops, but it's still, like most of the region, it's war, man. That's what's going on now in the news internationally. There's war everywhere. It's crazy.
It seems a little crazy. I mean, but do Americans start these wars?
Yeah, we've definitely started a few of them, but we're not the only ones.
But I mean, right now in Darfur, that's not our fault. And then
I don't think you can blame
the 12 peacekeepers killed. They're probably all Americans.
No,
maybe not,
most
I
of
don't
the
know.
UN base. I mean, the UN base is pretty international. I don't have the specifics. Obviously, you guys out there can Google any of this information and read to your heart's content. And you're going to hear a lot of different things. No, but Sudan is it's a black Muslim war. You get to Israel. It's a Jewish Palestinian war. You go to Iraq, it's a U.S. Muslim war. I like to quote. I like to bring up something that happened on. I picked up on Democracy Now. Amy Goodman was interviewing Wesley Clark, who had mentioned just shortly after 9/11 he was in the Pentagon, and he was speaking with some official. I don't even know if he mentioned who he was talking with, but basically stated that the invasion into the Middle East was a 7-country war. I mean, the initial plan was Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Lebanon. I'm forgetting a couple. But this is, this all goes back to Israel. This is the Israel, the Middle East this is the Israel nation since its inception there, since it moved in after World War II. There's just constant chaos and conflict there. And, for as long as I can remember, we've sided with Israel and we've sided with Saudi Arabia.
I remember knowing that, and hearing stories of a friend I had who, when there was a wall, and if you poked your head over the wall, you got shot. You heard gunshots shooting at the wall, and then during the early part of the Gulf War, or maybe the latter part of the Gulf War, somewhere between there and the Iraq War, hearing about whether or not we were still friends with that country.
Well, I think you can honestly say that we, over the last 2 terms, have lost a lot of allies, a lot of friends. Our economy's gone to shit.
I got a friend on the internet who keeps saying that the Canadian dollar is
It's
the
worth
Canadian
more than
dollar
the US
is
dollar
almost
now.
worth more. We just looked the other day.
Canadian
and it was
dollar-
93%.
The Canadian dollar is now worth more than the US
0.93.
dollar.
No, it wasn't. Just the other day, I swear.
It is today. The Canadian dollar is worth 99 cents.
Well, that's what I mean. It's it was we had just creeped over. I don't know where it is. We had just creeped over the percentage, like creeped.
Yeah, no, it happened a few weeks ago, man. It's happened. The U.S. dollar.
But I mean, when I was a kid, you used to get so much Canadian money.
Our current administration has led us over the last 6-7 years into an economic tragedy.
I don't understand it. We're supposed to be the
We hired a
powerful
fucking
country
idiot
in the world.
We hired a fucking idiot to run our economy.
Can you say that?
And now it's in the corner.
We hired a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's basically, we put a guy in charge that has ruined pretty much everything he's touched, man. I mean, he couldn't... this guy has not been able to play nicely with friends around the world. This guy accuses and believes in his own beliefs above and beyond the diverse perspective we have in this nation. And he does what he thinks is right. And he doesn't take into account that... we're a diverse nation of diverse people with a lot of ideas, and we should be talking with people. We should be communicating.
It seems like that.
He doesn't want to do that. He wants to set up ultimatums and then attack, and that's kind of his thing. And I don't know. I didn't grow up like that. I know people like that.
I'm white. I grew up Christian. I grew up very Christian. However,
but we're talking about a mentality here where it's us or them is what he is kind of like.
Yeah, it just seems like really, like I got friends who George Bush wouldn't be friends with.
Well, let's put it this way, and we'll kind of end on this note. Everything this guy has ever done, he's failed at.
Harsh words from Zane about your U.S. president.
So let's move on to, I think I've got a handful of domestic stories. We'll kind of see what's going on locally a little bit, some sort of funny stuff.
I would like to concur with the statement that we hired a fucking idiot for president. I think that's pretty sad. So yeah, I'd like to hear whatever else you got. What do you got? Anything good? You got any good news?
I don't.
Start with the good news.
I don't know that I have any good news. But what I do have is, most recently Marion Jones, the track star, she won several gold medals in the Olympics, has just come out and or I think she was coming out yesterday or today to say that she did in fact use steroids.
What year?
Since the 2000, was it 2000 Olympics or 2004 Olympics?
And what was her sport? What was her?
She's a track star, fastest woman in the world. I don't know if she was the fastest woman in the world, but you know, I think she's cute.
Wow.
It came up, her trainer, one of her therapist specialists, was the same guy that was supposedly supplying Barry Bonds with steroids. That whole thing
and
came
when
up
he
2
came
years
under
ago.
fire, they probably hit her with so much pressure.
Well, they've both been under fire now for a while.
Yeah.
But it seems that she sent a letter to her friends and family saying that she was sorry and apologizing. It sounds like when she started taking steroids, she didn't know she thought she was taking flaxseed oil. But obviously she was taking something else. But we may have some more on that next week.
So maybe she didn't know.
I don't think initially she knew, but I'm sure. And again, I'm speculating at this point. It sounds like she didn't know initially. It sounds like somebody put her on something. I'm sure.
It reminds me. It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like the story. Who's that chick who played in Wizard of Oz? What was her name?
Dorothy.
Yeah. What the hell was
Dorothy?
Dorothy's name? Anyway.
It's not coming to me. He wanted to say Judy Davis. Judy.
No.
Okay. Anyways.
MGM. They fucked that.
We'll
We'll
move
go
on.
on. I could go on.
Here's a story you'll like. What was it? The Colorado State University opinion paper. The editor put on his paper last week, "Fuck Bush," in big letters.
Wait a minute.
Stirred
A
up
student paper?
Student paper, but it's not a paper that I think is funded by the school. It's an independent paper, and the editor.
A popular independent paper?
Colorado State University.
Unbelievable.
He came under fire. They gave him shit, but he didn't lose his job. He's all right because it's an independent paper and freedom of speech, man. That's the cool thing about democracy, man. You can say what you want.
That's why you like a democracy.
But let's not forget, don't taser me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't taser me. He was a little aggressive, you might say. As well, I have a little. This is actually a local story for Scott because Scott's from New Hampshire, and this is a local story up there
From
in
New Hampshire.
A couple, it seems, barricaded themselves, locked themselves in their home for 5 months. Basically a standoff because they were busted for tax evasion. They owe the IRS $1.9 million.
Wait a minute, $1.9 million? That's a lot of fucking money. How are two people who probably don't even have, steady jobs? Well, what's their situation?
I'm just giving you the news, man. I'm just giving you the story.
See?
I thought you might find this kind of interesting. Again, you guys, if you're
bizarre.
watching this, you're on the web, you can look up these stories. New Hampshire, elderly couple, $1.9 million. I think they're getting 5 years. But I just thought it was great.
So wait,
barricade.
5 years is worth $1.9 million? I'll do 5 years in prison for $1.5 million. Can we do that? Is that possible?
You gotta go find the money first.
Oh.
But I'm sure if you find it, you can do it.
I pay my taxes. I know I'd rather...
I know. I got one more funny.
We could
story.
go off.
I got a funny story
All
for
right.
you. Guy who had lost his leg. Got a new. He has a mechanical leg. He had his original leg in a rental spot. What do you call it? Where you storage space, rental storage space.
What do you mean his original leg? His flesh and bone leg that got
I think
severed?
his first leg, maybe. I feel like it was a wooden leg.
Okay. Oh,
But
okay.
maybe it was his first leg. I don't know. It was left in a meat cooker. He didn't pay his monthly salary. He didn't pay his monthly bill for several months. So they auctioned off all his stuff, and this guy bought this meat smoker and found the leg inside, and now he's charging $1 for children and $3 for adults to come see the leg. And there's a little bag of
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was fun.
That is effed up.
That's about as close as it's going to get to good news today. But I do have
That
one
is
last
the
story.
most bizarre thing in the world. So it was the guy's severed leg he kept in a meat smoker. thing.
Ended up in a meat smoker somehow. So
That is messed
now
up.
he's gonna go to battle for it. And the last story. This is a depressing story, I think. Bush vetoed the bill that went before him to throw in an extra $35 million for the children's health care system. It was, it was expected. He was going to do it anyways, but it's just sad to see that he wants $200 billion to continue the war efforts, and he won't throw $35 million in for children's health care. He says it's turning. Again, Bush thinks it's socialism, so he says no, we won't get the money. So again, I'll end with the
Socialism? Wait a minute, but it's our money.
Well, he believes
all the money the government has to play with.
He believes this bill and giving more money to children's health care is a step towards socializing health care. And he doesn't want that, obviously, because he's a fucking cocker.
So,
can I just end?
That's fucked
I
up.
think
That's fucked
the
up.
editor of Colorado State University's paper, the opinion paper, I think he said it
He
best.
said it best when he said,
Fuck Bush.
"Fuck Bush."
Okay. Let's here, dude.
That was pretty good. Oh well, I should.
This will be media review, so we'll do an introduction. You don't start recording yet, if you read.
So
I think we should come back. Welcome back.
welcome back to Earthless.tv.
Ready? Let's cut this try one more time, so we gotta get some bass around the front.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're Earthless TV. I'm Zane,
I'm Scott.
and
This is our movie review.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for. So let's start with upcoming films. Let's take a look at something I think we're both hopefully going to love. Wall-E.
In the summer of 1994, there was a lunch. Me, John Lasseter, Pete Docter, the late Joe Ranft, all sat down. Toy Story was almost complete. And we thought, well, geez, if we're going to make another movie, we got to get started now. So at that lunch, we knocked around a bunch of ideas that eventually became A Bug's Life, Monsters Incorporated, Finding Nemo. And the last one we talked about that day was the story of a robot named Wall-E.
Wall-E.
That was great.
You like that?
I like the way that looked. It gave me an emotion. I just think it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
The yearning for the stars, the cuteness of the little robot.
I think
That's amazing.
I think once again Pixar has they are
Very
they
moving
make
little piece of
great-
film there. I like that a lot. That was really
stories.
great.
Yeah, they do. So next, let's take a look at. I've got another trailer for you. This trailer is. I'm gonna have to look for it here and see what am I looking at here. I'm gonna show you the Iron Man trailer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So let's take a look at that.
Mr. Stark, you've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
What do you say to your other nickname, the Merchant of Death?
That's not bad. They say the best weapon is one you never have to fire. I prefer the weapon you only need to fire once. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. To peace.
Is it cool if I take a picture with you?
Yes, it's very cool. I don't want to see this on your MySpace page. Please, no gang signs. No, throw it up. I'm kidding.
You have till tomorrow to assemble my missile.
I should be dead already. Unless it was for a reason. I just finally know what I have to do.
That doesn't look like a missile. What are you building, Stark?
I'm working on something big.
So Iron Man's coming out May 2nd.
That is
and I'm
awesome.
a huge freaking comic book movie fan.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big comic
book
guy.
movies are my favorite. Now this, if you're not familiar with Iron Man he has no superpowers. It's the Batman story. He's a rich guy, and he's got toys. He makes the suit, the Iron Man suit, and the trailer looks killer. Robert Downey Jr. starring as the Iron Man.
Big Robert Downey
Huge,
Jr.
yeah.
fan.
Robert Downey
I'm
Jr.
a huge Robert Downey Jr. fan.
I've seen him down here in Venice, man.
No kidding.
I have. I've seen him chilling out here at the beach.
Man, I would love to see that guy. I would just say, Rob, dude, awesome, Iron Man, yeah!
Nice. And I will note, just on a side note, that speaking of Black Sabbath, Democracy Now! They do their show. They split it up with little interludes of music.
Okay.
And
all right.
this last week, I think Thursday or Friday, their episode included. I think it was Thursday. One of the interludes was War Pigs.
Nice.
And it was
Democracy Now! Knows where it's at.
It was nice to
Little
see
Ozzy, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, see Amy
That's
Goodman just
funny.
say that was Black Sabbath.
That was Black Sabbath.
That's pretty cool.
Did she say it in an English accent?
She's not English.
Oh, she's not English.
She's not English.
Oh, I've seen that chick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's it for reviews, man. I think we should take a look at the box office. I was thinking
I'm
end of the summer review. Give you guys an idea of what the numbers were. Actually, surprisingly, there was a laundry list of films this year that have jumped into the top 250 films. We're talking box office numbers. We're talking strictly by the numbers, money at the box office. So to give you guys a little bit of an idea, coming in at number 5 was Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Oh, okay.
Which
I haven't
made-
seen that movie.
I haven't seen it either. I'm still waiting for that one. I saw the second one. I haven't seen this one yet. So I can't really tell you, I'm curious to see how it ends. It's kind of a trilogy. The second film stopped in the middle of a story.
I didn't even see the second film.
Scott.
Oh, wait. That's the one with the
Yes.
thing guy.
Davy Jones.
Yeah, I
Davy
saw
Jones.
that. Davy Jones. It's coming back to me now. Yeah, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
Pirates
that's-
3 made $958.4 million so far. I think it's off the big screen now, though, so I don't think it's going to be adding to it. But maybe I could be wrong. It might.
That's
it might.
a lot of money.
Don't know if it's going to break the $1 billion mark. There are 3 films that have broken $1 billion, and yeah. Do you know what they are?
No.
Well,
E.T.?
Number 1 is Titanic, which made like $1.8 billion.
Now that's totality, right? That's all around the world. DVD sales.
Worldwide, no, worldwide box office.
Box office.
Yeah, that's
so
what we're
does
talking
that
about.
include re-releases?
That includes any box office release.
So even if it was a re-release
Big
2-3
screen.
times.
Yeah, exactly. That would add to the numbers. Number 2, I believe. Number 3 is Pirates 2, which is like 1.1 billion, and I think number 2 was Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, which is like 1.1, 1.2 billion. So
Funny.
The interesting thing is that Titanic in 1997 made hundreds of $1 million more than the film behind it. But let's get back to this year. Because 2007 is fascinating. There are a lot of films that broke the top 250 movies. And let's go to number 6, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Did $931.8 million. I haven't seen that one yet. I saw the first half of it.
No, I haven't seen it.
But I like the Harry Potter series.
I like the books. I still haven't read the new book. We have the new book at home. I haven't started it yet. I mean, I read the first 5 pages.
Is this the last book?
It is. It's the 7th year of Hogwarts, which is technically and theoretically, according to the book, the last year of Hogwarts. So if author...
Rowling's. What is her? J.R.
If
Rowling?
author J.R. Rowling were to write another book, it would be a surprise, a sheer surprise, because there's only 7 years in the actual years of Hogwarts school.
Well, I heard, and I don't want to spoil anything for you because you haven't read the last book, but I'm under the impression that in the last book there is a big chunk of time in Harry Potter's life that they don't cover.
Okay.
This might be a spoiler. And I've heard that a lot of the fans were curious about another book to tell that story, and I saw a bit of an interview, maybe it was on the radio, with the author who was saying that there wouldn't be a book. So I believe this is in fact the last book.
Okay, well, expect it from me
Yeah.
to be the last book.
Okay. Let's move on though. Ranking in at number 11, Spider-Man 3 brought in $885.4 million. I've seen most of this film. It felt really boring and really long to me.
The second movie, yeah, was a little.
You didn't see the third movie?
No.
so, yeah.
I'm sorry, I have.
Neither one of us have seen the entire film, but I've always felt that Spider-Man's productions looked a little rushed. Like the editing could have been better with more time. The effects could have been better with more time. I just feel like they rushed it.
Some of the effects the guy was using a little rubbery. A little
rubbery.
You know,
like
when
that.
watching that Iron Man, I mean,
Yeah.
they have to have rushed it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I felt like that with the first Spider-Man too. So, but let's move on. Ranking in at number 21, Shrek the Third made $784.1 million. I haven't seen it. Not a huge cartoon fan. I like the first Shrek. I think I saw.
You know what? The first Shrek, and that's it. Let's just
move on.
cruise
Yeah.
through these right now.
Okay, number 28, Transformers made $697.1 million. I did see this film. It's very campy. It's very funny. The effects in it are good.
Haven't seen it yet.
It's
Gonna
okay.
watch it soon.
Some people loved it. Some people were, so-so. But I thought it was fun. It's worth renting. I would rent it. Let's go on. Number 51, The Simpsons movie, $513.9 million. That just recently came out, so I think it's going to run for a while longer. I haven't seen it. I felt like this movie should have came out 10 years ago.
I've seen one review from what seemed to have regularly had, devout watchers. I mean, who isn't a devout watcher of The Simpsons?
There's a lot of big Simpsons.
But the review was basically a very long episode.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Essentially, that's what I heard. That sounds like a big disappointment, but what did you expect?
Well, until
it's
we
The
know.
Simpsons.
Yeah, until we know. Ranking in at number 71, Ratatouille made $436.3 million.
That's another Pixar film, isn't it?
It is, and I actually have seen a few reviews of guys that I watch. One of the guys from Totally Rad Show, which I like anyways, Totally Rad Indignation.
Dude.
Alex will give you a shout out, throw your horns. But one of the guys on that show, I can't remember their names, he Ratatouille was like his favorite film of the year so far.
Okay,
So
well, I
that
heard
can
it was
help.
a cute movie. I don't know
I'd like to see
so
it.
much. I haven't seen that movie. I'll have to make it a rental.
Yeah. Coming in at number 95 is The Bourne Ultimatum, 384.4 million.
I like me some Matt Damon's
Did you
Bourne
see it?
series. Not yet. Haven't seen that movie, but I like the first
This
two.
review is mainly about Scott and having not seen anything in the last year.
I don't watch
He works
movies
nights.
anymore. I work nights. Yeah, you know.
I did see The Bourne Ultimatum, and I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked the whole series. The first one was the best. I mean, there's the element of you wake up with the character and you don't know who you are.
I liked the whole
2-3 films
deal.
later, it's more of an action story. You have this
You've
hyper
got
element.
this little chunk of film because basically you don't know this guy's life, so you've got this little package that you know already if you've seen the other two movies. So I'm interested. I want to see it. I'll definitely make it a rental. And of course, you are talking box office, and I don't go to the movies as you know.
We're
So,
I like to.
what's this next one you have?
I like to see where the numbers lie, where people come in. So next we have at number 104, Live Free or Die Hard, which made $369.8 million, and I did go to the theater, and I did see this film,
Yeah.
and it was terrible.
Oh,
It
see,
was-
the numbers say everything right there. You would
Yeah,
think
well-
that movie would be a bigger hit than that.
Movies that end up on this list, number one, have a big budget. Number two, have a huge release. And number three, have a huge amount of money marketing them. So, there's no great films. There's no great little independent films that we're going to talk about in the box office list. But we'll get into that because I do have a couple other films that I want to mention. So, but let's just round out the list here. At number 158, Ocean's 13 made $310.2 million. I haven't seen that either. Number 192, The Rise of the Silver Surfer made $277.4 million.
It's a good idea, but you knew that movie would be a piece of turd.
I did see this film, and again, I'm a huge comic book fan. I kind of liked it. It's really
You
campy.
kind of liked the campy.
Right.
Guy who didn't like Superman liked the Silver Surfer.
You're talking about Superman Returns?
Yeah.
I thought Superman Returns was terrible. Like it wasn't even a
Guy
comic. It
didn't
wasn't-
like Superman, like the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Well, the Silver Surfer, the character himself, is pretty cool, and I
did like the trailer. Maybe I'll have to make that a
one of the things too is there are trailers. I think the greatest moment in trailer history in the world is when Star Wars: The Phantom Menace Episode 1 came out. And the movie itself was a horrible Star Wars film, but we waited 16 years, and then this trailer comes out for this movie.
It was exciting.
The Waterboy opened up that weekend, and they were showing the trailer on the Waterboy, and the Waterboy made like $44 million opening weekend because people were paying to go see the trailer. But I'll tell you, the trailer for Episode 1 was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I remember being excited.
Oh,
Very
man,
excited.
The goosebumps, I'm getting them now.
Yeah, that
Totally.
was very exciting.
So, anyways, to finish off the big list, number 237, Wild Hogs made $243.3 million.
Oh, let's just skip
I don't
over
even
that.
want to see that. Mr. Bean at number 277.
Oh, you can skip that one.
Terrible.
I wouldn't see that.
Ghost Rider at number 279, another comic book film. This
Not
is
a
terrible.
fan. Not a fan of
I
him.
can't do Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage for me, Nick.
If he came in and did the show, I might have a new appreciation.
Raising
for him. Sit down with
Arizona.
us.
Raising Arizona.
With us.
Brilliant film.
Wild at Heart.
I'm a fan of
Valley
most-
Girl.
The director is everything for a movie, Nick. Get back to a good director. Don't direct your own movies like all these other people unless you're Clint Eastwood. Thank you very much. But honestly, get back to the old Nick.
You need
Cage. Nick Cage, great actor. I'm a flavorful.
He needs good scripts and good
movies.
directors.
Good
And I haven't
scripts,
seen
good
him.
directors.
He hasn't had that in a long
It
time.
could have been an okay thing, but oh goodness, let's just move on.
And to finish off at number 311, Knockout.
Oh.
Which I heard was funny. I haven't seen it, man. It's the guys that did
Knockout.
40-Year-Old Virgins.
Yeah,
Comedy.
a rental.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go see that in the movie.
Okay.
You know what I am looking forward to a little bit though?
What's
Is
that?
anything to do with Ben Stiller, and he's got that movie coming out. It's not on your list, but
Might be next year.
It's that one where he marries the girl and find out. Oh, great.
I'm not familiar. I'll hunt down the trailer, see if you can find the name of it. There's a few other films I did want to mention that are 2007 films that I think are worth noting. 310 to Yuma is a modern-day Western. I don't think it takes place modern day, but modern meaning shot. Made this year.
310 to Yuma, I heard that was a good movie.
I heard it was good. I heard Eastern Promises was fantastic. It's sort of a follow-up to History of Violence. Viggo Mortensen is supposed to be the ultimate bad guy in this film.
Wait, Viggo Mortensen is in which movie?
Eastern Promises.
Dude,
and he is supposed
to
be the scariest motherfucker you've seen on
Did you see
in a
him?
long time. He's a gangster.
That sounds
supposed
really
to be
cool.
the-
I like Viggo. He's good. Did you see him in that movie about the devil? What was that called? It was the end of the world. Man, what was it? Anyway.
I don't know. Okay, so, yeah.
Where he plays the devil.
Lighthearted comedies, Good Luck Chuck. That stars that new stand-up comedy guy that's out there. He's the big MySpace guy. What's his name? Big comedian from MySpace. Did the Vicious Circle. You guys know what I'm talking about. I like the
Rich
Vicious...
Boss.
No, I like the Vicious Cycle. Dane Cook.
Dane Cook. Yeah, he's on my MySpace.
The only reason I mention this film is Jessica Alba's in it, and I'll watch anything that Jessica Alba does.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
I
Dude,
can't not mention
that ocean movie. She was great.
Into the Blue. I have that. It's fantastic.
She's very beautiful.
I was just catching up on Dark Angel. I hadn't seen the series, and I didn't know this. Did you ever see the series Dark Angel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Angel? No, the Dark Angel. Her first.
Jessica Alba.
Yes,
Two
I did
seasons.
watch a few episodes of that. I enjoyed it.
I had no
Very
idea. It's
enjoyable.
like post-apocalyptic Seattle. And
Yeah.
I spent quite a few years in Seattle. I knew.
From Seattle,
Yeah,
for me. I mean, when I met you, you were from
Just
right out in
from
Seattle.
Yeah, the grunge era. So I got a
Interesting.
haircut, Superbad is another movie I want to see. I'm just
Looks funny.
I'm gonna spin these off. Superbad looks funny. I've heard mixed reviews on Stardust. I don't expect it to be good, but you never know. It's got De Niro in it.
Stardust, yeah.
War
I like a De Niro.
with Jet Li and Jason Statham, the guy that did Crank and Snatch. I like him. I gotta check it out. I gotta see what's happening.
All right.
Rush Hour 3, I haven't heard a word about. I mean, did it even come out?
Oh,
I think it came out.
I don't know. I like Jackie Chan. I wish he didn't like the almighty dollar so much and take those really bad movies.
Yeah.
And he could just say no.
Well,
Nobody
I'm
ever told him just say no to those movies anymore.
a huge Chris Tucker fan. I mean, he is one of my
I'm a
favorite
big
comedians.
fan of Chris Tucker. However, Rush Hour 2 was funny.
I thought both of them were pretty funny. I thought this would be funny, light, a
But
rental.
I hope it's
essentially.
good.
You know.
I'll say that much.
Give a shout out to Chuck and Larry because you like Adam Sandler. You're an Adam Sandler fan.
Oh yeah.
I
Adam
now
Sandler.
pronounce you
big,
Chuck and
No,
Larry.
big fan of Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler's movie Happy Madison. I didn't
Well,
see a
that's his
trailer
production
about
company.
Chuck and Larry yet.
Oh, you haven't seen the
No,
trailer?
I haven't. I'm gonna
Well,
have
it's
to
the
see
guy
that.
from King of Queens, and
Okay.
they get married so that he and Adam Sandler get married and pretend to be gay so that they can, I don't know, get a good
That
deal on
sounds
the partner
funny
or
right
something.
there.
It sounds like it reminded me of Bosom Buddies a little bit.
Dude, isn't that why they don't want to make it legal? Because people be marrying each other just for
Tax breaks. There's also
college kids marrying each other all over the world.
in the three last films I'm going to mention for the year, Evan Almighty. I don't know anything about. I mean, I know it's the sequel to Bruce Almighty.
I wanna
It
see
looked kind of
that.
funny. The guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Well, I like, what's his name? The
40-Year-Old Virgin.
the black guy.
Morgan Freeman.
I'm a big,
Huge
sorry, I don't
Morgan
know his name, but I'm a big fan of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, no. Actually, I was talking the other day, and I was like, if you could have anyone be president, like somebody that we all know, a celebrity or a famous politician, somebody that we all sort of know,
That you could trust.
to run your country,
Yeah.
well, not to run your country, but to lead your
Morgan
nation.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman is my
Dude.
choice.
Is it any remnant to that movie? What was that movie?
Contact.
Where he was the
Yeah.
president?
He played the president when Meteor was going to hit the Earth.
Yes!
But I'll tell you, his voice, his presence on camera, I mean, we're talking about sort of like somebody talking to us as a nation of people.
I'm a fan of the Dog and Pony Show myself.
He is calm and soothing, and you know what? It goes back to the electric company. This is a guy that I have grown up with my whole life, and he has talked to children with the electric company, to adults in film.
That's right. He was on the Electric Company.
He is the guy, to me,
Was he?
that can put his arm over your shoulder and say, "No, let's just settle down and see what's going to work best."
I see a
You know
scene
what I'm
from
saying?
that movie right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like him.
I can see that. I can see that. I like him playing God myself in
So you
Bruce
can see him as
Almighty.
President.
I thought it was great.
But if you were going
I
to
really
choose
like it.
somebody to lead the nation,
I don't know. If you put him in front of me, I'd probably vote for him. But then again, I'd vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger too.
okay, well there you go. Let's two more films. Evan Almighty we were talking about. I just wanted to mention 28 Weeks Later, which was a follow-up of 28 Days Later. Low-budget horror flick. I'm not a big horror fan, but I saw a little bit of this movie. Looked like a decent sequel, you know. I mean, I don't expect sequels to be better, you know. I don't expect Empire. Every once in a while, but I get it. But and then the last film, Sicko, the documentary that Michael Moore brought us.
Hi, I heard about that. I have not seen that
Healthcare
either.
in the U.S. It's on my list. I got to be in a heavy mood and be ready to handle Michael Moore's.
I've heard a lot of
perspective,
things
so.
about Michael Moore. Yeah, I've heard that he's like a biased perspective, and he uses those camera tricks to skewer his perception.
Well, I think
Like entertainment value sucks you into a movie, and he's a director, so he's able to create this atmosphere that you'll buy anything. That's what I hear. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked his other movie there, Bowling for Columbine.
Yeah. Fahrenheit
Great.
9/11.
I didn't see Fahrenheit 9/11. I'm
Roger
not
and
interested.
Me. Yeah, you know, I mean, again, I like to point out or remind people when we're talking that I think everything is perspective. So no matter what news channel you're watching, whether it's supposed to be real or whether it's a fictional story, there are always truth and lies to everything. It's the yin and the yang. So, you know, obviously Michael Moore's stories are very politically driven, and he has a very leftist view, which is not unknown, you know, which is like mine. I like to watch Michael Moore's films. If I'm interested in the subject, I want to see other perspectives as well and try to round out my sort of opinion of it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's Michael Moore's view of the healthcare system, and you know, you can't not deny that whatever you're seeing, you know, this show is our opinions. So,
Yeah, well, Michael Moore's entitled to his opinion, that's for sure. I'll check his movies out someday when I'm too old to really care anymore.
So let's bounce ahead to games, man, because you've got some
Games.
So
Oh,
we'll
I've
talk
got
about
some games.
Why don't
So yeah.
Why don't we start with let's talk about the big game. This last it came out a week ago.
Well, what?
We're just
Halo
gonna
3?
mention it.
I don't even want to mention Halo 3, but I guess there I have. Halo 3. You know, I'm not gonna check out Halo 3.
Not even gonna play.
I don't think so. I don't know if it's Vista only. I will not check it out because let me just show you this right here. First game I have on my list outside of this first mention is this game right here, and I'm just gonna
Halo
say
2.
Halo 2, big fat disappointment.
Why?
This game requires you to not only have a Vista ready machine, but have Vista on it. And not only do you have to have Vista on it, but put that right there.
Put it up on
posterity.
Yeah, that's nice.
Not only do you have to have Vista on it, but you have to have this thing called the Live account. And now, Xboxers are familiar with
is
this
this
Live
subscription
account.
based, is
Oh,
what you're
let me
talking about?
explain it to you. I could go on and on. I'm going to say this. Live account is something you pay for monthly or yearly to have access to game stats.
Okay.
Basically, you can unlock stuff, you can keep rolling stats, you can make sure you have a character forever saved somewhere on a server where the game, tracks all your kills and all this good stuff. Now, why would I play Halo 2 and pay to go the extra mile? You get a free Live account. You go to their Live website.
They are available.
You just Google Microsoft Live and you'll get yourself an account. But if you pay for that, I just think that's ridiculous. When I'm paying for the internet, I'm paying for the game, and why am I paying for access for them to track my stats? It's ridiculous. They should make it an open source stats so that anybody can track stats, and you can get somebody else to foot the bill for that if it comes to so much data that they can't handle it. Just like games like Battlefield 2142, Battlefield 2, the list could go on and on and on. Quake Wars, you name it, which is another game that I'll get to in just a second.
Okay.
So I want to move on because in the interest of time, I'd like to mention this next portion of my game is review is also to bash something.
Enemy territory?
Okay, see this right here? This is enemy territory. But see, right there at the very top it says pre-order. See that? Pre-order.
Pre-order.
So, this pre-order for $10 is ridiculous. I just think it's totally idiotic. Because not only does it have... This wasn't with it. Not only does it have this box, right? But it also has this in here. This is a DVD holder. It's blank, right? It has nothing in it.
Does it come with a disc?
It comes with this. No, it doesn't come with anything. It comes with all this stuff.
Wait.
Not the receipt.
There wasn't a disc in this.
No, it's the pre-order. Okay, so not only is there ads on paper.
So you
but
spent $10 and you got a box.
There's a poster, right? There's a poster, and there's this, thing here. I can register my name. So if I pre-order, I can register my name.
Don't show me your key too long.
Well, this is old.
Yeah.
So they could even try
But let me get this straight. You bought
I dropped
a
something
game.
under there. I'm not going to get it. So
and
yes,
it came with a DVD
it
jacket.
was a pre-order. It was a pre-order. It was only $10. $10 off
Do
the
they
game when I
mail
buy
you
it.
a disc when it comes
See,
out?
no.
So
and
you
not
get
only
a
that,
jacket
but
for a disc you'll never.
not only that,
That's it.
not only that, Zane, but the store itself doesn't hold your copy. They don't. They would sell out in a day if it happened, and then not have my copy there when I went to pick it up. But the good thing is I get these collectibles. Fine, I'm a collector guy. I like the collectibles. But what I don't like is I'm kind of an environmentalist of late, and what I don't like is the waste of this because okay, here I go. You get all this stuff. I'm down with these three things right here. I'm down with my reg key to make my name membership, so no one else can take my name.
Your little game.
I'm down with the stupid little card that they give you that's like a Pokemon card.
Yeah.
This is dumb. And then the little poster that when I get an office someday and I buy a house and I get an office, I'll put up my stupid poster. All right, so that's it.
Environmental issues,
So
man.
this right here, this is all I needed.
But what if
was
we
this
just
dumb thing.
find
And they send me
over
this.
packagers?
So
We just fucking
just think
stick
that's a
the
waste.
military on them.
I just wanted to bash that for a second because it was really pointless when I was standing there. And then the girl asked, "Do I want this?" I'm like, "Of course I want it. Paid $10 for it." In my mind.
Yeah,
So, but then the next thing I wanted to talk about
What do you got? You had one other game with you, man.
was I'd like to praise
Oh.
this game, which is a great game. It is the Company of Heroes Opposing Fronts. Now, this is an RTS. Now, if you're familiar with RTS, it's where you're over the perspective. You're like a first-person shooter would be this terrible game or this excellent game, which I'll get to in a second. This is like an you drag you lasso your
You're
little
looking
guys,
over a map.
and you
Yeah.
tell them to go here, go there, blow
It's a
this
role-playing
shit up.
game.
You're blowing stuff up. This game is awesome. It's referred to as a RTS, which is real-time strategy game.
Okay.
So
civilization and that kind of thing.
totally, exactly. So this game is awesome, though. The original game, Company of Heroes, was awesome. And then this game I haven't exactly played yet, but I bought it sight unseen. And it appears to me that the glory of this game, which is a smart move by the THQ company and Relic Software, Relic Entertainment and the THQ is the software company.
Speaking of which, if either of
Well,
these
let me just get
companies
this
want,
out.
No. If either of those companies would like to sponsor
Hey,
this
we're
podcast,
trying to pick up sponsors. For
we could use some sponsorship. I mean, even just
I gotta
some
wrap
beer
this up
company
real
wants
quick.
to send us
I
a
gotta wrap
keg.
this up real quick. So what I want to say is that this game is incredibly awesome, and what the good thing is that this sole game right here, you don't need the original game to play this game right here. You can just buy this right at the store and play it without the original game, it appears, because it doesn't say under system specs that you need the original game as usual for something that would be perceived as, a plug-in to the game or a patch or
So
an add-on.
it's an extension, essentially.
It is an extension, but
you
it is
don't need
a sole video game.
Okay,
You don't need the previous game. Great game. Love that game. And the last game I want to praise right here is excellent packaging, excellent masterful graphics. I bought the limited collector's edition of this game right here, Enemy Territory Quake Wars. Look at that. That is a badass game right there. Awesome graphics. Worth the DirectX 10. Worth every second of DirectX 10. It comes with all this open DVD. It's beautiful. It's got all of this purdy stuff. It's got like 10 of these
more pug
stupid
cards.
pug cards, exactly. And then, more EVGA ads, which is a great video card, by the way, although I use FXX myself. I can't even say that, FXX.
Well, yeah, you should
XFX.
tell, do you play on your laptop?
FXX.
You gaming on the laptop,
FXFX. I do game on my laptop as well, which I'll get into, but I gotta wrap this up real quick.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
It comes with all sorts of good stuff. And finally, the bonus DVD, which usually includes, I haven't watched it yet, but which usually includes game development, interviews with developers and graphics people. It's usually facility tours, that kind of thing. But excellent packaging. I like the way it does this little slide in like a DVD, and it looks nice. It's got the sheen on there.
They spent the extra dollar.
Totally. Buy the collector's edition. It's worth it. Enemy Territory Quake Wars.
Nice.
And so that's pretty much
that's the game.
what I recommend this time around, except
or
for
don't recommend.
Don't recommend those two. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. You don't need the pre-order anymore. It was pretty dumb because the game was so far released so far after the pre-release. It was worthless to have the pre-release happen. But maybe my $10 made this game this much better. So.
And again, I haven't talked about games much. I don't game a lot. I usually hear about a game from Scott. I'll play it a bit. And
I'm a big fat gamer.
Right now, let's see. I've been playing chess online. I like speed chess. Go to Blitz. What is
I
it?
want to
Or
pick
Game
this up
Night?
as a sponsor, but I don't know if I can do that here because I just want to show that to you while we're going here. Half-Life, the game, is the awesomest game. Oh, that's my CD key. I haven't actually.
Yeah, you should cover
Yeah.
that.
So Half-Life, the game, Half-Life 2, coming out soon. Episode 2. Episode 2.
Episode
2. Buy it. Portal. Awesome stuff. The pre-release of Team Fortress 2, comical game, awesome game. Online multiplayer. I'm sorry, Zane. I was just going.
No, that's good. Let's move on to music. We don't really have a lot of music today, but I do want Scott to bring something up because he's going to a big show here.
Oh, the Genesis show, baby. Come on. Genesis has revisited some of the old greats that have come back. Chester Thompson on drums. Obviously, Phil Collins. Michael Rutherford is back with Genesis. I don't think he ever left Genesis. Yeah, no, he might have left for a little while with Mike and the Mechanics. You remember him from Mike and the Mechanics? And then Tony Banks, the guitar, keyboard player, ensemble, musician extraordinaire.
But no Peter Gabriel.
Steve Hackett on guitar, the original, Nursery Crimes, Foxtrot, the original Selling England by the Pound, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, great stuff. Steve Hackett has his own solo career, but alas, yes, and sadly, no Peter Gabriel this year.
No Peter.
Peter Gabriel did not want to do this tour, which is unfortunate. It's pretty sad. However, I am ready to listen in and hear basically the Three Sides Live era of Genesis, which is something that I was too young to get into and I missed in my early life, so I'm really, really moved at the idea. So I can't wait. I'm excited. Excited. San Jose on the 9th.
Speaking of Genesis,
I'm sorry,
we
not
have
the
a new...
9th. Yeah, the 9th.
You get October 9th?
October 9th, this
Coming
month.
up.
Yep, coming up.
It's like
real soon.
3 days.
That's right. By the time some of you see this, I will have already seen the concert.
Well, you can tell us about it when you get back, but I was going to say, speaking of Genesis, we have sort of a new Genesis, we've got a music video to show you.
Okay, so we're going to go to the music video. This is the premiere of Scott Can't Smoke Pot
by the Rotations.
By the Rotations. Okay, so here we go. Just roll the video.
You don't come around here no more. We ain't got what you need. There's a little reminder in the bedroom if you choose to concede. It'll look you over from head to toe. Wonder whether you're lying. Does she really know? Sky can't smoke pot. Watch me ride, living in the odds. This is all you got. But take a shot and look at what I bought. Sky can't smoke pot. Not trying to deceive you. This is how it is. The medicine in the bathroom cabinet, it's not really his. Do you think it's a problem? I'm comfortable with this. All of the compromise and changing verses are here. Sky can't smoke pot. Watch me ride, living in the odds. This is all you got. We'll take a shot and look at what I bought. Skies can't smoke pot. Don't come around here no more. We ain't got what you need. There's a little reminder in your bedroom if you choose to concede. Sky can't smoke pot. Watch me ride, living in the odds. This is all you got. Take a shot and look at what I bought. Sky can't smoke pot. Okay, we're back, man. And
hey, all right.
There was,
you know,
there was the music video, man. It's not
that's
bad. It's coming
pretty
along.
trippy stuff. I don't know, you know.
I think
Rotation's got some good sounds going on.
They've got some good sounds. I think they're working on. They've got 2 or 3 records in the hopper right now.
All right.
A new greatest hits
forward to
album
that.
that's supposed to be coming out sometime by the end
How
of the
many
year.
greatest hits records is that?
This will be number 4.
4. That's going to be number 4. Greatest hits records. How many records do the Rotations have?
70 some.
70 some albums. And this is not to be confused with the Rotations off of the MySpace who have MySpace.com rotate. Those guys aren't the Rotations.
If
What's
you
the
want,
MySpace?
If you want to see the MySpace, it's www.myspace.com/The Rotations 2006.
the little graphic there.
Yeah.
And you also have 2007 too, don't you?
There is, 2007. There's a link on 2006.
All right, okay.
But there's a few, some of the acoustic stuff. Actually, the tracks that will be out on the Fourth Greatest Hits album.
Can't wait to hear those
Yeah.
from the rotations.
Great.
More from Earthless.TV.
Earthless.tv. Hey, we're back, and wanted to cover quickly. I've got one book review, so nothing too big, nothing that will take too long. But I was able to last week down Freakonomics, and I would highly suggest that to anyone who is
Freakonomics.
has any fascination with statistics.
I've lost fascination with reading text myself.
I read a lot of text online. And I do read, I read a lot of books. I read a lot of crap this summer, really. I didn't read anything interesting, but I definitely would highly suggest Freakonomics to you.
I'll have to, force myself to try and watch that, read that. I can't watch it, it's text.
Yeah, exactly. You'll have to read it.
I have to watch myself read it.
You could you could tape yourself.
I could videotape myself read it, and then we could use it for another whole podcast.
So I think that's about all we have this week.
All right,
So
dude, this is great for our first podcast. I had a lot of fun, and I hope anybody watches this, and it's great because we want you to love us. No, I'm just kidding.
Scott needs love.
We need love.
Yeah.
And I'd like to give a shout out to pestgaming.com because I'm a big fan of Opie and Anthony. Thank you, by the way. But,
shout out to Miro, my favorite TV interface, getmiro.com.
TV interface. Guy dropped cable. Uses the internet, and it's a great source of news, entertainment, other things, whatever you're looking for. If you torrent, if you don't torrent,
next
week
week we'll talk about torrenting.
That'd be a good news thing to talk about. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about. I'll have more of a review for the Genesis concert, and probably more with gaming, but not these two games, that's for sure.
We'll take.
Maybe I'll buy. No, I'm not promising anything about Halo.
We'll see what happens this week, and
not promising Halo 3.
We'll just bring it in next week.
Maybe Clancy, Tom Clancy has a game that's out. I hate Ubisoft.
We can use sponsorship again. I throw that out there, but if somebody wants to bring us something, hey, we'll
bring a little more production value to it.
Yeah, a little more production
your buck.
value. Beer, wine.
Sure. Water.
Yeah.
Coffee.
This shit's gonna be worth a fortune someday. So, good night, all.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good afternoon, or
wherever
you are in the world.
Whenever you are.
And welcome to the internet. Earthless.tv.
Earthless.tv.